I don't take days off, do I? When my number is called, I don't take plays off, do I? I'ma always give you 20 and 10, no matter how much you wanna pretend that I ain't clutch with it. I don't do the load management, maybe I can handle it. When the heat is on, I can manage it. I'm kinda like James.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Others Receiving Votes podcast, sponsored by MGlow, Market Connect Play. Today is the Friday Inferno. I just want to go off a little bit about some things I've been thinking about lately. But before I get into it, I want to start off by telling a story. And it's about a guy who's an NBA Hall of Famer, NBA champion, Finals MVP, 14-time NBA All-Star, and the list goes on, to be honest with you. He was a first round draft pick, actually a lottery pick, now that I remember. Scored over 30,000 points, 11,000 rebounds, 3,600 assists. I mean, the guy could just flat out play. And his name was Dirk Nowitzki. Now, why am I going to start off talking about Dirk Nowitzki? First, and I'm sure a lot of people know this, that know anything about Dirk. He began his career playing in Germany for 2 or 3 years in the second division, not the top division, not the number one division on a number one team in Germany. He played in the second division for 2 or 3 years. And here's my point. It doesn't matter how you start, it's how you finish. And let me explain. If I got, let's say, in America, in the States, and I played basketball before I played professionally. I started out playing basketball when I was about 10 years old. So from 10 to 22, so about 12 years playing at the amateur level, AAU, high school, college. So let's say, when you start off playing, especially now in the States, it starts off with with millions, to be honest. I don't even know the exact number, but I know it's millions of amateur players start off. Then if you go to, if you're fortunate enough to play in college, that number gets dwindled down to about, to tens of thousands. And then if you get drafted in the NBA, it's about 400 spots in the NBA, so that's hundreds. And then if you get a chance to play overseas, that's about 2,000-3,000 jobs every year. But the reason I say that is because I've been reading Twitter and seeing stuff on Instagram and Facebook and stuff. Recently, I got a lot of friends who have kids now that are in college, so I'm just following a lot of these stories. And and they are actually fortunate to play Division I and to have pretty good careers. But it's only a few players that you're going to know of or hear about that are going to be able to play Division I, because it's a very, very selective few that get a chance to do that. But after that, you got Division II, you got Division III, you got NAIA, you got junior college, right? So many levels where you can play and flourish and be a big-time player. And, some of the stuff that I've been reading, it's about the kids and the parents, and they're just kind of distraught about not getting a chance to get recruited by that major Division I school or the ones that are turning pro. If they don't get drafted, and this happens every year, I didn't get drafted in the first round. I slipped down to the second round, or I didn't get drafted at all, and I have to go overseas and play, and like whatever the gripes are, and you hear them all the time, and I understand. Even myself, I've had the same kind of situations where I felt like I should have been drafted higher, or I should have got more playing time when I was with this team, or why do I have to go overseas and play? And, like I'm just as good as anybody else, that's in the NBA and blah, 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 the same kind of things that all great athletes And if you get a chance to be on a top level in any situation, you're a great athlete in that moment. So, what all athletes should tell themselves anyway, because, we all should feel like we're better than what we are. That's kind of how we got to the level that we did. So I do understand, but being older now and like thinking back on it, it's like, what's the goal? What's the end game? And, it's to play basketball, right? Each and every time you get to play, you have an opportunity to get better. And it's way more important having your focus on that than it is having your focus on who didn't pick you or who didn't recruit you. And, because it's not really about them. It's about you. You got to look at the prize at the end of the tunnel. And maybe not getting recruited by a major university where you would have been the 10th man is a blessing, and you can go to a Division II or NAIA school and start as a freshman and play all the minutes, and develop that way. Or, I have the same the same example about the NBA, maybe not getting drafted and having to go play 2 or 3 years overseas and work on your game and get more mature, and then coming back to the NBA as a more complete player. Maybe that's better than if you get drafted and let's say you play on a team for 1 or 2 years, you don't play at all, and then your confidence gets crushed, and then you end up, finishing out your pro career, and that's it. It's over. And I've seen that happen to so many players, just from a confidence perspective, just not getting that opportunity to play or not getting that opportunity to shine, because that's all it is. In a lot of situations, I'm not just talking about professional basketball, but, high school basketball, AAU, college, whatever. A lot of situations, the difference between being a great player or a player that, just kind of, the flame just burns out, is just having a little bit of that confidence or feeling like the people around you believe you and support you. And, if sometimes you might not get that. And if you're not strong enough to withstand that, then, your career could be over really, really quickly. And I don't want that for anybody. I mean, look at players like Mark Jackson. He actually got drafted, went overseas, played 2 or 3 years, came back to the NBA, was a first team all rookie, and then the next year signed like a $25 million deal. Patrick Beverley, another guy that, that I think of right off the top of the head, played overseas for a year or two, and now is a high level impact player on one of the best teams in the NBA. And there's so many other guys like that, and I want, honestly, from my heart, I want everybody to live out their hopes and their dreams for sure, 100%. And I want everybody to get their shot, because like I've said before, I think it's the best feeling in the world. To get paid to play a game is the best feeling in the world. And I want everybody to have that feeling, whether it be, 1 month or 20 years. I want everybody to have that. But, if it doesn't happen the way that you think it's going to happen, and most people have this idea of exactly how their life is going to go. And a lot of basketball players, especially the ones that are good when they're younger, they have it already mapped out in their head. I'm going to, be a high school All-American, and then I'm going to go to college for 1 or 2 years, and I'm going to be a lottery pick, and then I'm going to make millions of dollars and be able to take care of my family forever. And I hope that happens for anybody and everybody. It's not, but I hope it does. But if it doesn't happen that way, the way that you plan it out to, the way that you have it mapped out, and you have to play on a lower level, whether it be, lower level in Division I college, or maybe in a lower level of Division I college, Division II, Division III, NAIA, junior college, or in the pros, maybe you don't get drafted in the NBA first round, you got to play in the second round. Maybe you don't get drafted at all, you got to go overseas and play. Whatever the case may be, just be patient. Just be patient and keep your eyes on that goal, that number one goal, whatever you have for yourself, that number one goal at the end. Keep your eye on that and stay focused. Because if you do that, who knows? You work hard, keep your eye on that prize, you might have a career like Dirk Nowitzki. Stay fortunate and stay blessed, y'all.
I don't take days off, do I? When my number is called, I don't take plays off, do I? I'ma always give you 20 and 10, no matter how much you wanna pretend that I ain't clutch with it. I don't do the load management, maybe I can handle it. When the heat is on, I can manage it. I'm kinda like James Harden's career, I can walk whenever I feel, and that's facts.